Vietnam, a nation steeped in tradition and history. A beautiful country today, its past has been characterized by war and colonization. Out of Vietnam's tumultuous 1930s, 40s, and 50s emerged a new religious movement. A new religion which blended native traditions like Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism with foreign ones like Catholicism. The new religion was called Caodaïsme, and it professed that all the world's religions were different manifestations of the same divine creator. Today, there are some 3 million practicing Caodaists in the world, many who have been spread across the globe as a result of the diaspora following the end of the Vietnamese-American War and the fall of Saigon in 1975. Some of these Caodaists landed in the United States. This is their story. Born in Vietnam in 1926, Caodaïsm is a syncretic religion combining elements of the belief systems of Confucianism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Taoism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. With some 3 million followers in Vietnam, Cao Dai is the third largest religion in the country, behind Buddhism and Catholicism. Cao Dai means high place, symbolic of the place where God dwells. Central to their teachings is the idea that all of the world's religions are different manifestations of the same God. According to the adept, Cao Dai exists to reconcile the differences in the world's religions in an effort to promote peace. One of the first Western accounts of the Cao Dai religion came from the British journalist and author Graham Greene, who wrote about his encounter with the religion in his memoirs, and also included a depiction of the faith in his novel, The Quiet American. Greene's account of Cao Dai is that of a bewildered outsider looking in. Of all France's allies in Indochina, the most astonishing are the Caodaists, members of a religious sect founded around 1920. Their capital, which they call the Holy See, is Tay Ninh, some 80 kilometers from Saigon, where their pope lives surrounded by cardinals of both sexes. At the entrance to the fantastic Technicolor cathedral are hung the portraits of the 3 minor saints of the Caodaist religion: Dr. Sun Yat-sen, Trang Trinh, a primitive Vietnamese poet, and Victor Hugo, attired in the uniform of a member of the Académie Française, with a halo round his tricorn hat. In the nave of the cathedral, in the full Asiatic splendor of a Walt Disney fantasy, pastel dragons coil about the columns and pulpit. From every stained-glassed window the great eye of God follows one. An enormous serpent forms the papal throne, and high up under the arches are the effigies of the 3 major saints, Buddha, Confucius, and Christ, displaying his Sacred Heart. The literal translation of Cao Dai from the Vietnamese language means high place or high platform, and symbolizes the place from where God reigns over existence. Caodaists also refer to their religion as the third great universal amnesty of God. This is in reference to the 3 historical revelations of God. Cao Dai literally means high place, but it also means the name of God. Even the nickname when he communicated with the first followers, his name is Cao Dai. From then on, when this religion was established, they made the name Cao Dai. That's the short name. But the full name is Dai Dao Tem Ki Fo Do, or the Great Way of the Third Revelation and Salvation. Caodaists believe that God decided to reveal itself again through a third and final revelation by establishing the new religion of Cao Dai. Caodaists say that the third amnesty establishes a new path to salvation for humanity, and believe its core goal is the unity of all the religions of the world. Furthermore, they believe that God is the Father of all beings and the creator of all the world's religions. Caodaists contend that God has manifested itself at different times and places through various religions throughout history. Caodaists revere a pantheon of 9 deities. First among the many is the supreme being, Cao Dai, represented by the Eye of God present atop the traditional Cao Dai altar. On a second level below, there is Buddha, Lao Tzu, Confucius, the Chinese poet Li Taipei, and Guanyin, the Chinese bodhisattva of compassion, and the Chinese warrior Quan Kong. On the third level stands Jesus Christ. At a fourth level, Quang Tai Kong represents the genus traditions of ancestor, hero, and spirit veneration. Below this pantheon of deities are the numerous saints of the religion: Victor Hugo, Sun Yat-sen, Descartes, Joan of Arc, Lenin, Shakespeare, and Louis Pasteur, among many others. The saints of Cao Dai aren't chosen through a lengthy canonization process as they are in the Roman Catholic tradition. Rather, they are spirits who have chosen to reveal themselves during Cao Dai seances to communicate the proper direction of the religion.
Well, it's clear that they didn't seek to abolish the use of the recognition of the Chinese deities. Quan Li, goddess of sea and mercy in China, was Quan Am in Vietnam, becomes Duc Phat Mao, Holy Mother, in Caodaism, and the idea of immortals, having immortals, heroic figures or culture heroes, patriotic heroes who become powerful spirits, is also Chinese in origin, is Chinese Buddhism. And they do preserve that. And some of those immortals are Victor Hugo and Joan of Arc and so forth. So there are French loan blends, or blendings from French usage, saints and luminaries and so forth. So those are big features that they also incorporated. And of course there's the genieism, there's the animistic traditions of Vietnam, the genies, the forest spirits and so forth, and they recognize all of that. The worship of and veneration of ancestors, nature spirits and so forth is also part of Caodaism. So there is essentially an incorporation of the autochthonous or the indigenous traditions of Indochina in the form of animism with the introduced Buddhism from China that has the immortals and the deities. And on top of that, another layer of immortals, for the most part, who are of European origin. And as I understand, these include up to about the time of Winston Churchill, who was, I think, the last one that got added. But William Shakespeare is one of them, and that would fit for literary men. They would have Victor Hugo and William Shakespeare among their immortals. And of course, these immortals give messages. They speak, particularly Victor Hugo is very important. They speak with doctrinal messages, giving advice to the leaders of the 30s, 40s, would receive messages from Victor Hugo in terms of what needed to be done to better the movement and so forth. So it is what we call a syncretic tradition. It is a culturally blended tradition that consciously sought, and where leaders consciously sought to incorporate both colonial influences and indigenous influences, and at the same time embracing not just the world religions but the local traditions such as Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism. It's a very hierarchical group, so the Confucian ethic is very strong, and all of those were essentially blended into one tradition and given a kind of permanency through the Constitution.
The diverse religious blendings of Caodaism can be seen in the iconography and design of the Tay Ninh Holy See Temple, which incorporates elements of the world's great religions as well as local animist beliefs.
The Tay Ninh Holy See itself, built with a huge number of Cambodian peasant slaver, the labor of a large number of Cambodians on it, was completed in 1935, is a construction exemplifying what we mean by syncretic belief in ritual. The church itself, or the temple, I say it's church because it is basically designed along basilica architecture lines. It's the basic architecture is that of a Catholic basilica or cathedral, with 2 towers at the front, a nave down the middle, with pulpits and galleries along the sides, and then an altar and apse at the very far end of the building, and with 2 Cao Dai luminaries, basically represented almost as saints with halos on the sides of the towers. And all of that harkens back to Catholic architecture, obviously the French influence evident here. But the design elements within the decorative elements that are present are Cambodian down the side, Cambodian Khmer arches, and of course the presence of a Hindu tower at the very back and a minaret from Islam in the middle, on top of which are both Shiva and Buddha. So we have the co-optation, if you will, or the incorporation of all of these different religions into one system. There is in addition in the interior of the Holy See building are stained glasses with lotus blossoms on them, deist triangles with the eye of Cao Dai in the middle, resembling that found on your $1 bill. The use of, as I said, the pulpit. All of these features are clear blendings of Catholicism with Buddhism.